Hi, I'm Pastor Rich, and we're going on this journey. We're looking at things as we're leading up to Easter. And I know a lot of times there's just communication. So what we've been doing is looking at words that may be familiar, but you don't really know the meaning, or maybe you've really never heard that phrase before and you're just trying to put the pieces together to understand what people are doing. But there's a phrase that's called Holy Week, and that's where we go from Palm Sunday to Easter. And it happens every year. So when we celebrate Palm Sunday, that week leading up is to Easter. And so a lot of people will actually call it Passion Week. And I really love the phrase Passion Week, of really understanding that it was Jesus giving his all for us. And as we start to look at the week, really what we're doing is examining the things that took place. And so we see Jesus in Palm Sunday, and we see how he is fulfilling prophecy, and he's on a colt and a colt donkey, and as he's going through, and people are calling him king, and that's the first time that Israel ever started to call him king. Now, it wasn't the king that they were looking for, but they wanted something different than what Jesus had, and Jesus had a much bigger picture. Not just to be a king of a country that is shortly lived, but a king that reigns forever. And for you and for I, that we see things fall apart, but that Jesus is the true king. And so we start to look at scripture and we start to realize that Jesus is finishing some unfinished business as he goes to the temple for the second time, and the temple, as they were making a mockery of what God had, Jesus said, no, this isn't what God had. And you saw his passion and his desire. He's telling us, don't fall into that religious stuff. Don't fall into these gadgets and gadgets and things that are just trying to get your money or trying to just perform. But it's something so much more. And as we see Jesus, as he responds to children, as he responds to the Pharisees and Sadducees, as they bring up things about divorce and, how should a marriage be? And we go through all of that to where we get to the point of Jesus and having his Last Supper with the people closest to him. And what took place at that time, and as he went to pray, as he willingly allowed himself to be taken away in the midst of betrayal, in the midst of such a fallen world, he allowed himself for one reason: to set mankind free. And I just encourage you, maybe this is a whole new concept for you, but I ask that this week that you would just be seeking and saying, hey, who is Jesus? And does he really love me? Does he really care for me? And I want you to know that there'll be a link right below that you can just click on it. And we want to personally just walk you through that. And we want to be able to answer questions for you. But I want you to know that this is life-changing. And thanks for going along on the journey with us.